Good afternoon, everyone. Um, we're just waiting for a few more participants to join. We'll start roughly in about a minute, just a few more that are rolling in. While we're doing that, I'll start some introductions with you and some housekeeping rules before we get to the formal session of the webinar. Thanks for joining us today. We're here to talk about smart technologies innovations, or ST innovations, where we are focusing on health technology development and how this organization can help to advance health technology, both in Alberta here, Canada, and also abroad. So my name is Fareed Farood. I'm the Director of Health and Life Sciences at Global Public Affairs. I'm working here on, have the pleasure of moderating this session for you with ST Innovation. And with me today, as you can see, there's a group of panelists from ST Innovations that are all part of the big team that have started this journey. And they're mostly from U of A. That's where this has started. And I will start with some of the housekeeping rules that to keep us organized as this goes forward. So if you have a question as we go through the presentations, please put that question into the chat box that you see on the browser at the bottom. And all the questions we'll try to answer towards the end of the webinar, where we have a Q&A session. And if your question doesn't get answered, we will try to reach back out to you via email and try to answer it that way. The panelists that I have with me here today, all their contact information, mostly their email, will be on the chat box as well. And also throughout the presentation, you'll see their contact information as well. So you'll be able to reach back out to them to connect after the webinar. The other piece is that this webinar is going to be recorded, and we're going to start recording this now. So if you need a copy of the webinar, we will be sharing that with you. And we could share that with you if you request that again by email. Okay, so I think we've got a number of participants now, so we could begin. As I mentioned, ST Innovation is a creation that is part of the University of Alberta, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Vivian Mushahwar, who has been the founder, one of the founders and the director of Smart Technologies Innovations. And I'm going to ask her in a minute to talk about her journey from the famous Smart Network at the U of A and into ST Innovation and how it got created. But before I do that, I'd like to share a couple of bios around Dr. Mushahwar. She's the Canada Research Chair in Functional Restoration and a professor in the Department of Medicine, Division of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation at Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry at the University of Alberta. Her work focuses on developing intelligent wearable and implantable neural prostheses that restore mobility and prevent secondary complications. She also focuses on developing creative rehabilitation interventions that are both efficacious and cost-saving. Dr. Mushahwar pioneered the development of microimplants for stimulating the spinal cord to restore standing and walking after paralysis, as well as the development of the wearable garments, such as Smarty Pants and the SOC, which stands for Smart Ongoing Circulatory Compression, for preventing pressure injuries and deep vein thrombosis. In addition to that, Dr. Mushahwar is an entrepreneur as well, and she's the founder of BioHigh, a U of A spin-off company that is commercializing pressure injury technologies. With that, pass it over to you, Dr. Mushahwar, to give us an overview of Smart Network and ST Innovation.
Thank you very much, Fareed. And I too would like to welcome and thank everyone for joining us today. As some of you may know, the word SMART in the Smart Network stands for Sensory Motor Adaptive Rehabilitation Technology. We are a network of more than 200 professors and learners at the University of Alberta who have come together from many different disciplines to focus on developing health technology innovations that improve access, quality of care, and health outcomes. Our origins date back to 2009 when we formally were established as a team, known as the Project SMART team at that time, supported by the Alberta Heritage Foundation for Medical Research. And over the years, our team continued to grow. And in 2016, we became the SMART Network. Our SMART Network members come from neuroscience, engineering, computer science and artificial intelligence, rehabilitation, surgery, health economics, and social science. And our goal is to address unmet medical and health system needs that are often complex and require a multitude of perspectives and skills to tackle. We use the latest and best approaches to the solutions, utilizing innovations from the different disciplines we come from to develop systems that are efficacious, personalized, and cost-saving. We have developed exciting innovations, as Fareed mentioned, for improving the ability to move by persons experiencing neural injuries or diseases using cutting-edge wearable and implantable technologies. We have also led the country in innovations for persons with limb amputations and pioneered wearable technologies such as Smarty Pants and the sock, as Fareed mentioned earlier. We have also developed exciting innovations in extended reality for health applications, as well as telerehabilitation and telerobotics approaches to reach underserved and remote communities. We are grateful for funding from the Canada Foundation for Innovation and the Government of Alberta that has made it possible for the SMART Network to occupy more than 16,000 square foot of shared space that houses more than $12 million worth of state-of-the-art equipment. This facility enables a wide range of activities from prototyping to scientific and clinical validation. Now, within the SMART Network, we have truly created the necessary ecosystem for accelerating scientific discovery and its translation to innovative and practical healthcare solutions. An ecosystem that we believe can contribute to supporting the wider health technology sector in the province. Now, our goal over the past couple of years has been to create a mechanism that would allow us to share the capabilities of the SMART Network with the health technology sector in the province and beyond. And to achieve this, we established, again with the support from the Government of Alberta, ST Innovations, which, as Fareed mentioned, is the business arm of the SMART Network. Through ST Innovations, we're making the SMART Network facilities and expertise, its highly skilled ecosystem, if you will, available to assist and partner with the health technology sector, not only to share our own innovations, but also to assist you and your innovations with your innovations and help you prepare them for effective market uptake. I'm very excited to have our team members on this webinar today to tell you more about ST Innovations and what it offers and how you can access us. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Fareed.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mushahwar. That was great. So I will like to now ask Dr. Martin Ferguson-Pell to talk to us about the academic view and sort of entrepreneurship in the academia and the struggles and how ST Innovation can help with that. But before I do that, again, I'll share a short bio about Dr. Ferguson-Pell. Dr. Ferguson-Pell is a co-director of ST Innovations. He's a biomedical engineer and credentialed clinical scientist and has dedicated his academic career to the study of secondary complications of physical disability and studying underlying causes to reduce their incidence. He designed and developed a rehabilitation robotics laboratory, or the virtual reality and robotics core of the SMART Network, in the Edmonton Clinic Health Academy at the University of Alberta. Dr. Ferguson-Pell was one of the founders of the SMART Network and has been instrumental in co-developing the ST Innovation concept. He's also the founder of Elixir Simulation, which is an augmented reality nonprofit spinoff from the University of Alberta. Dr. Ferguson-Pell, over to you.
Thank you very much, Fareed, and thank you everyone for coming today. I want to just give you a perspective, maybe from the academic standpoint, to show how I think ST Innovations fits in so well with many of our needs. So I would think it's fair to say that most academics are really passionate about the idea that we take their creations or work with others to support their creations and bring them to the benefit of society. I think this is one of the things that is the deepest motivation of most academics. But we face barriers to achieving that, because this is a non-trivial thing to undertake. First and foremost, when we're trying to take an innovation forward to commercialization, significant amount of time needs to be spent building the linkages between the university and our collaborators, the potential commercializers of our technology, or in the ways that we support the commercialization of other technologies that we have expertise to enhance. Secondly, we know that in order to attract investment into a new startup or a new commercialization initiative, we have to demonstrate substantial engagement in order to demonstrate to investors that there's a commitment to the success of this innovation. The amount of time that that requires is beyond the capacity of most academics, who are really involved in multiple different activities involving teaching, research, student supervision, applying for grants, publications, and so on, service to the community more generally. So I think we have a gap there that we have to address, that ST Innovations can help us with. And then finally, we lack the business skills, in that we're not, in most cases, trained in business practices, and therefore we face the challenge of working in an unfamiliar context in which we're not necessarily as effective as others might be. So although we're very keen to see our innovations adopted or to support the innovations of others, we need support. And this is what ST Innovations is able to do. Because what it can bring is, first and foremost, a business culture to the work that we do in academia. Secondly, it has a mandate to help to reduce the administrative burden that's associated with creating innovation and support academics in enabling a commercialization initiative to get off the ground. And finally, it has the capacity to seek opportunities that we can engage with as academics, either in supporting others in bringing their innovation forward by working with our resources, or alternatively, helping us take one of our innovations down the commercialization pathway. So I think that the important thing also to remember about this process, especially in our field, where we're talking about health technologies in the rehabilitation field, is that they need to be nurtured. They need specialized expertise to enable these ideas to move forward. And although as academics, we have a deep understanding, if you like, of the context in which we're placing these technologies, the process of taking it down the pathway to commercialization needs special expertise to do that. So there's a big difference between the commercialization process involved in the development of new pharmaceuticals, for example, which is a 17-year on average journey, versus the sort of technologies that we're developing, which are much faster in terms of their commercialization journey. And secondly, they're much less expensive, but they do need that specialized expertise to be successful. And that's the sort of thing that ST Innovations can help us with. So as I see it, ST Innovations is like a turbocharger for our innovations. It focuses on ways that we can create that economic opportunity and benefits to patients and to clinicians through the production and commercialization of effective health technologies. So thank you for it. I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ferguson-Pell. That's very good insight into how the difference between academic research and curiosity-based research and commercialization, and how ST Innovation can help both the entrepreneurs and also the academic community to move those things forward. So now we can get into more about what ST Innovation does and what can it do. And with me today, I have Mr. Jonathan Butterworth, who is the Business Development Manager for ST Innovation. And he's going to go through through a presentation, through a number of slides to demonstrate what ST Innovation can do and what is the value of working with ST Innovation. Before I do that, I'll share a short bio of Jonathan. He is originally from Milan, Italy, and he has over 15 years of business development, marketing, financial, and international trade experience. Prior to joining ST Innovation, Jonathan was the manager of trade and investment at Edmonton Economic Development Corporation, where he uncovered many exciting partnerships and developed health innovation opportunities between Edmonton and Europe. So with that, I'll pass it over to Jonathan, who will share with us the presentation about ST Innovation.
Thank you, Farid. Good afternoon, and thank you to all our guests for joining our first webinar today. As Farid just mentioned, I look after all the business development activities for smart technology innovations. ST Innovations is a vital health technology development center focused on accelerating health innovations. In addition, as Dr. Mushahwar just mentioned a few minutes ago, being the business arm of University of Alberta's Smart Network, located in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, of course. ST Innovation is a very unique organization, one of its kind in the province, able to offer world-class expertise to assist our clients along the health technology development pathway, all the way from discovery to market adoption, by offering them customized services with a primary focus to identify and remove barriers to the health innovation process and addressing the gaps in moving ideas from concepts to real-life solutions, generating innovation capacity and wealth. Working with us allows your ideas to develop into functioning prototypes that can be further validated and tested for the market. Now, let's take a look at our distinctive competencies. During early stages of any technology development, our priority is to gather critical end user feedback to design innovation that can truly make a difference in someone's life. We focus on enhancing the function of advanced assistive devices. For example, exoskeletons, artificial limbs, neural prosthesis, by addressing the human-machine interface, resulting in more efficient cooperative interactions. Now, considering device development, we work from early discovery right up to clinical validation, from prototyping of innovative implantable and wearable medical devices, testing of neuroinflammation and biological reactivity, to implantable microtechnologies. When it comes to analytics and machine learning, we are linked to some of the world's top leaders in data analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. In fact, just to give you a few examples, Google DeepMind located its second global discovery lab outside of the UK, right here at the University of Alberta. And I would also like to acknowledge Amy, our Alberta's Machine Intelligence Institute, as an instrumental partner. By combining patient data, analytical skills, and extended reality, ST Innovation is able to offer our clients with confidence the development of exceptional digital health solutions. Just to mention a few: AI, precision health, predictive modeling, big data, natural language processing. Rehabilitation and injury prevention. ST Innovation is able to develop new rehabilitation interventions to restore function using innovative training strategies, pharmacological assistance, cell-based therapies, and devices. And finally, we further progress virtual and augmented reality applications for diagnosis of the impact of injury or disease, rehabilitation training, evaluation of functional outcomes, and innovative telehealth applications to provide care in remote communities. You can access all of these resources in one location. Our ultimate goal is to enhance and validate your health technology so that it is better positioned for commercialization. ST Innovation is essentially your one-stop shop that is able to address your technology development needs along the journey to market. It's your all-you-can-wish in one place. In fact, let's take a look at what are the typical elements that are usually required to support and move forward an innovation and how we address those needs. Prototyping capabilities. We offer at an early stage critical product feedback and crucial insights to keep your new technology development on track from the get-go. Human-machine interaction platforms are also essential to create intelligent and predictive health technologies. Clearly, access to world-class equipment is also vital to support the proper development of any innovation. Validation and testing resources for your technology are also of utmost importance, and ways to make sure that the technology achieves end user acceptance by making sure that the proposed solution functions and performs correctly as intended. By addressing these essential requirements, ST Innovation provides advancement and enhancement of our clients' innovations along the technology development process and better positions them for commercialization. Working with us allows you to identify the best path forward to market and what it will take to make your technology a success story. Now, let's review together the 5 key areas that are critical for technology development success and how you can access these in one place by working with us. So first of all, an integrated team of scientists is crucial, researchers and health professionals dedicated to your specific project. World-class laboratories and equipment, as we were mentioning a few seconds ago, under University of Alberta's leadership and scrutiny. Specifically, we have about access to 16,000 square feet of world-class equipment and shared research laboratory space, in addition to other individual labs under strict quality assurance. We know how imperative it is to be able to test and validate promising solutions to a problem or specific project. ST Innovation provides that. We support the clinical validation of our clients' health solutions, for example, by directly connecting them to healthcare providers. ST Innovation is connected, in fact, to one of the largest teaching hospitals in Western Canada, Alberta's University Hospital, and to the largest standalone rehabilitation hospital, the Glenrose Rehabilitation Hospital. Therefore, we have valuable access to patients and clinical information. We're part of Alberta's developing health innovation ecosystem, and as such, we enable key connections to different agencies and organizations. Lastly, we leverage funding support from government agencies and organizations in order to stretch our clients' financial resources further and ensuring overall better outcomes. Now, we all know that the lengthy journey from discovery to market of any technology, new technology that is extremely demanding. ST Innovation supports these efforts and activities along the way at any point in time via an effective approach, in addition to fostering connections within Alberta's innovation ecosystem. We support mature technologies from within our smart network, helping them along the pathway towards commercialization. We collaborate with Alberta small medium enterprises. Typically, these are companies that are thinking of or are already in the process of developing a health-related technology subsection or subdivision of their company to further support their growth and expansion, to diversify their activities, and ultimately to increase their overall resiliency. Lastly, we partner with multinational health companies to co-design and create the next generation of health solutions by offering, first of all, Canada's dynamic, innovative economy, which is open to global companies wanting to explore exceptional business opportunities. Access to Alberta's largest province-wide, fully integrated healthcare system for close to 4.5 million people. And lastly, the opportunity to work, of course, with us, with ST Innovations, accessing all the available expertise. ST Innovation is your trusted central advisor, able to connect all of these different entities that belong to our health innovation ecosystem, acting as a link while guiding you efficiently through the process by developing, accelerating, advancing, enhancing further your technology and better position you for success. I sincerely appreciate your attention today. And I encourage you to connect with us to find ways we can collaborate together. I will now hand it over back to Farid. Farid, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jonathan, for going over what ST Innovation is about. As you could see, it is all about health technology development and moving the technology from discovery to validation and testing and better positioning it for the marketplace. So now I want to draw on other members of ST Innovation team who are key members in terms of coordinating things and also advocating what technologies are all about. So with me today, I have Ms. Michelle Whaling, who is the manager of operations at both Smart Network and ST Innovation. And the question I'd like to ask Michelle is how does, if an entrepreneur or a small company comes to ST Innovation, how is ST Innovation going to put a team of professionals around that from the scientific, engineering, clinical perspective, and also how is the project that is going to be done with industry standards? Michelle, over to you.
Thanks very much, Fareed. So as mentioned, I'm the operations manager and the liaison between the business team and ST Innovations and the Smart Network. Little bit of background on me. I joined the Smart Network about 6 years ago from Alberta Innovates. I was the quality assurance manager of the preclinical testing facility out there. So I do bring several years of experience in quality to the ST Innovations projects. My role for ST Innovations is to iron out the pathway within the university, and that depends on the client needs and the relationship type. So this may be a collaboration, a partnership, or a service agreement. When the business development team brings in a project, my role is to match that project up with the expertise within the Smart Network. We have around 40 researchers that have expertise all over the map, and we can pretty much accomplish anything. We provide a really high level project management. We ensure that they are completed on time and on budget, as we do assign a project quality manager to each of these projects. We've also implemented a quality management system in our device development lab to ensure data integrity and reproducible results, which is super important when you're preparing a product for regulatory testing. I'm really excited to bring these projects into the university and for being a part of a solution that can benefit so many people. And back to you, Fareed.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Now I'd like to, there's a question actually has come up as well as how do I access the services for ST Innovation? And I think the next person that I'm going to ask to answer this question is Laura Connor, who's in charge of marketing and communication for both Smart Network and ST Innovation. Laura, can you tell us how participants and others can access the ST Innovation services? And also, if they do access that, how is their technology and success recognized?
Thanks, Fareed. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Connor, and I am the Marketing and Communications Coordinator for ST Innovations. Prior to my role with ST Innovations, I was in charge of the marketing for Alberta's first public broadcaster, CKUA Radio. And before that, I was the production controller for Companies Coming, Canada's #1 cookbook publishers. I'm very excited to be a part of the ST Innovations team because I'm a very service-oriented individual. And I truly believe in what we have to offer you, our clients, which is a customized plan to fit your health technology development needs. So for more information on ST Innovations, we'd like to invite you to check out our website, stinnovations.ca, and to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I also wanted to mention that ST Innovations success is ultimately based on you, our client's success. So if you have a story or an event that you would like to share, please reach out to me, lconnor@ualberta.ca, or through our social media channels. Thank you for joining this webinar.
Thank you very much, Laura. So now that you've heard from all the members of ST Innovation, I wanted to draw your attention to some of the testimonials and other people that have either worked or partnered or about to partner with ST Innovation in this short time that ST Innovation has got launched and started. So we're going to play a couple of videos for you, and then after that, we will come back to the Q&A session.
When I reflect on my 26 plus years in the medical device and radiopharmaceutical industry, and I think about my history related to Alberta, growing up there, my formidable years, it reminds me so much of the spirit of Alberta. Whenever I interact with ST Innovations expertise, its experts, its leaders, and why is it a good idea for Alberta? If I reflect on all of those 26 years, what the industry needs and what Alberta needs in terms of its medical device ecosystem is the ability to provide rigor and formalize access to the infrastructure and the know-how that's already in place in pieces across Alberta. And so why is ST Innovation critically important then? ST Innovation provides perhaps turnkey solutions for the user. Turnkey in the sense that a quality system is in place that can be leveraged by any of the customers who may be researchers looking to be entrepreneurs, all the way to multinational enterprises that are around the world. And so as I think about the impact that ST Innovations can make in Alberta and beyond, again, it is access to expertise, access to infrastructure that exists already in Alberta, but is piecemeal, and to wrap that up in a rigorous quality system that can bring product to market much more quickly than without ST Innovations' help.
Hi, my name is Dr. Ryan Como, and I am the co-founder and CEO of an Alberta tech company called Kinetisense Incorporated. We are a technology company based out of Medicine Hat, Alberta, that uses markerless motion capture to collect data on human movement. We are just thrilled with our work that we've done and our partnership that we've had with the University of Alberta, with the University of Alberta Robotics Lab, and with the Smart Network in general. The Smart Network has been a huge resource for us to be able to have the funding to take our product. The Telerehab 2.0 project is really, as we feel, a game changer in health economics and in our healthcare system, with providing high quality, objective data that our practitioners can assess their patients remotely in underserved communities, communities that are rural centers that may be lacking the certain expertise of practitioner that they require. To reach out to ST Innovations and the Smart Network in general, they have a wealth of resources, a wealth of knowledge, and contacts that can really help you to gain momentum and to be able to well position yourself.
My name is Lorraine Whale, CEO of MyViva. We've built a digital technology program called MyViva Plan that helps people take control of their health. One of the challenges that we were facing as an SME was trying to figure out who we could partner with to help integrate an avatar, or build an avatar for us to help people with their behavior change and add in a little bit of gamification to our program to make it a little bit more fun. And I truly feel very blessed and grateful to have been introduced to Dr. Martin Ferguson-Pell back in January of this year, because his team has truly brought a vision that we've had for several years to life. When you take that academic innovation strength and you combine it with SMEs, business strength, clinical strength, and marketing strengths, that's truly where the innovation and the magic starts to happen, because both organizations needed one another to be able to bring this vision to life. And that's exactly what we did. And so I'm beyond excited to be able to be marketing our UROK application out there and getting it into the hands of Albertans and Canadians. And I truly have Martin and his amazing team to truly thank for bringing it to life for us.
Okay, so this ends the formal section of our webinar with those videos. As you saw, there's already companies and entrepreneurs out there starting to use ST Innovation to advance their technology and products further. Just want to remind everybody, again, there's a Q&A chat box. If you have a question, you could type it in there and I will do my best to bring those up for the team to answer. We do have a few questions that are in there, so I'll start with asking some of those. So one of the questions that's in there is about, do you have offer on any seed funding opportunities for early stage ventures? Perhaps this is a question for maybe Jonathan or Vivian.
Dr. Mushahwar.
I'm sorry, I've done the usual, which is start talking with myself muted. So now I hope you can hear me. At this point, we are not able to provide seed funding in the from the perspective that could be understood from a venture type of an approach. However, we are able to partner. We are able to provide in-kind support, and we are able to assist in helping you to leverage funds that you have and develop applications that will increase, will help you with applications that would increase your ability to secure funding. So I guess the direct answer is no, we don't necessarily provide seed funding, but we are able to partner, and we are able to enhance your ability to secure funding for your projects.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mushahwar. Another question is, can you use neuromorphic processor chips for deep learning applications?
I love that question. Sorry, can I take that question?
For sure.
So that's a fabulous question. And in fact, we worked with neuromorphic chips for walking, for kind of coming up with an artificial spinal cord, if you want to think of it that way, and produce the rhythmic walking pattern in a very intelligent way. And that was in collaboration with Dr. Ralph Etienne Cummings at the university, at Johns Hopkins University. So the bottom line is we have those capabilities, and it's definitely where we'd love to head. So we're happy to chat about this, see what your needs are, and capitalize on both the neuromorphic engineering capabilities and the artificial intelligence capabilities that are available in the smart network.
Great, thank you. Maybe this question is more for Jonathan. Is there a fee for service, or is it a partnership, or is it a bit of both when people come to ST Innovation?
It can absolutely be a bit of both, a perfect combination of these two main elements. One thing that I want to just inform all of our guests and companies that are interested in working with us is that we're very, very elastic. We're very we can cater to your specific needs. So it can be contract research, it can be a partnership, it can be co-developing, co-creating, it could be enhancing and adding something to your technology. Companies or clients can bring already something semi-prototyped or semi-finished to the table that we can then enhance and move forward. And sometimes by doing that, we can create also additional markets, additional value propositions for the technology itself.
Thanks, John. So just following up on that, there is a question more around how do you determine the cost of a project when an SME comes in? How do you assess that?
So we have a process, of course, in place, and we have a discussion, a conversation, obviously, with a potential client, in this case, an SME. We discuss the needs of the company. We listen to the company's specific requirements, which are very different all the time. We convey that information, we bring it in, and we share it with our smart network. We share it with our researchers, and usually to see which researcher might have a better idea, might be more interested in working specifically at that project because they might have a specific level of expertise, or they might have built through the years experience exactly addressing that particular need. And so we sit down with the researchers and we come up with a project approach or the best angle on how to address our company's need. And once we do that, then of course we associate costs. So what would it take to give that kind of support to this company, to support the project. And so we elaborate costs based on the researchers' labs, on the team that would be working at this project, and other members that would be helping out. Of course, ST Innovation is always sort of project managing and coordinating the whole process. So we have to also include those costs, and then we convey our best estimate or proposal to the company. And sorry, Farid, and usually, typically, a project, from what we've seen so far, could be a year, 2 years, or a 3-year project. And so we try to define a yearly cost for the project.
Thank you. So just another reminder that, again, if you need to reach out to ST Innovation, the contact information are on the screen. Just in case you want to take advantage of writing those down or taking a picture of it. Just a reminder. The next question is more from Michelle. What is the background and experience of the project management team that's in place at ST Innovation?
Thanks for the question. So I have taken the project management course, and that is what our project managers will have, that course, as well as being familiar with the particular area in that the projects will take place. So that's going to depend very much on what that project looks like and what the needs and deliverables are of that project. Thanks, Farid.
Thank you. The next question is, do you have experience with development of brain-computer interface devices? Or, in other words, what's this machine interface means?
So Farid, you're probably addressing that to me.
Either to you or Dr. Ferguson-Pell.
Okay, and Martin, do you want to get started on that?
Not really, because I think you're the expert, Vivian. This is exactly your area, so I wouldn't even dream of entering into that domain. Please go forward with it.
Well, thank you. Yes, we have a lot of expertise in interfaces with the nervous system. So you can think of it as nervous system computer interface. And it's not just the nervous system computer interface, but it's nervous system and machine interface in general. So in the smart network, we have experts who have been working with brain-computer interfaces for applications related to children who experience cerebral palsy. We have expertise in dealing with interfaces with the spinal cord to record activity, sensory activity, and to stimulate versus regions of the spinal cord. And we also have capabilities of interfacing with the peripheral nervous system, where we again record activity and are able to stimulate through wearable devices to effect a meaningful action. So I guess collectively, we have the expertise to deal with the multiple levels of interfaces with the nervous system, including brain-computer interface.
Thank you. So the next question is an HR question. I'm not sure who to give it to, but there's been multiple questions about, are there any available positions in your group?
We always welcome people to the group. And if you're really interested in joining, please do send your CV. And it all depends on where your skills would fit best, and we can certainly consider those.
Thank you. How do you guys help in identifying the funding and the leveraging of the funding opportunities? Can maybe Jonathan or Michelle talk about sort of the funding criteria as what sorts of funding you could access?
Sure, Michelle, do you want me to take this? Yes. So we're very closely, because we're part of Alberta's innovation ecosystem, which I mentioned during the presentation. We are closely connected with all of the principal funding agencies, whether provincial or federal. So we know very well their programs. We're very well acquainted with their grants or funding programs, opportunities that have come up, especially in these last months with the pandemic. And we're very well acquainted with the people that are behind, of course, these agencies that run these programs. And they also know us very well, and they have a very clear understanding of ST Innovations and how we operate. Therefore, there's a certain level of consideration and trust whenever we bring to their attention a potential project or a funding opportunity, or we ask if a particular opportunity could be eligible or be part of consideration. Also considering, of course, that we are still a part of University of Alberta. So in that way, we can act as an excellent centralizing and coordinating platform to help our clients, to help the companies seek the best funding opportunities that are currently in that specific moment and time available. So we definitely have a collaborative approach in all of this. We have a win-win goal in mind. Because, of course, if we're successful and our clients are successful, then also the funding agencies are successful because they meet their objectives and their mandate. And as I mentioned earlier, we offer absolutely extremely customizable solutions. Same thing applies for funding.
Thanks,
Maybe
John.
I could add one thing, Fareed. I think because behind ST Innovations is the Smart Network, we have this diverse collection of principal investigators with a real depth of expertise in bringing in funding. And so they come from the social sciences culture, from the health sciences culture, and from the engineering and sciences culture. And so we can bring to bear that expertise in terms of looking for funding opportunities. And this is quite different from identifying an individual researcher you may wish to work with, but maybe they haven't quite got that fit in relation to the kinds of funding sources you could go to. And then I think the other thing I would point out is the opportunity to leverage. And so in working in collaboration with SMEs, we're able to, or MNEs for that matter, we're able to leverage funding such as MyTax funding, and then in specialist areas, a whole variety of other areas where we can double or even triple, if we're really strategic, the amount of initial funding that is provided in order to get the project underway. So we're pretty capable of making those kinds of leveraging work for you, and across the whole breadth of different areas of health technology.
Thanks, Martin and John. I think there was a question around how many full-time staff do you have? And so I think Martin just answered that question in terms of there are the 40 plus PIs and all the other people that work at Smart Network. Those essentially become your resource, if I understood it correctly, Martin. Great. We have another question. How is IP managed? I guess as external folks come and work with the university, how is IP managed and protected, and both the co-development IP and also their IP? Who wants to take that on?
I'll take that, Fareed. The IP is always with the inventor. So, and that's actually a beautiful policy that the University of Alberta has, that the IP belongs to the inventor. Now, if we receive, for example, a contract to provide service, we would follow what the contract says, and there's really probably not a whole lot of IP necessarily, new IP necessarily generated, because we would follow the process that the client has requested. However, if we modify the process and to improve the product, maybe we could then discuss that, or not maybe, but we will discuss that with the inventors and the clients, and find out whether this is something that they're interested in, or whether they're really that new process is not what they need. But there's also then the clients who can come at a very early stage where they have a fabulous idea that's already patented, but now we'd like to kind of progress it forward so that it can become a practical, usable solution in the future. Along the way, we would be co-creating, I guess, innovations. And should there be new IP that is created independently by the smart network, then we would talk about a joint IP relationship with the client. And again, it's really driven by the client's IP for the most part. And then what kind of innovations do we bring in, and are those innovations that the client is interested in or not?
Thank you. So I recall, maybe this is a question for me. I recall that Jonathan talked about 16,000 square foot of shared space or shared laboratory space and access to equipment. Are companies or entrepreneurs allowed to access that space, or is that space where when they sign on with ST Innovation that it's just their project comes in and plays a role? So if you could clarify that if there's an opportunity to come and co-develop and co-create the project together.
Oh, absolutely, Fareed. And in fact, we encourage that, because this is going to be a two-way interaction that would be beneficial to both the client and the smart network. So in fact, we already have clients who have expressed interest in coming in and using the equipment themselves, having perhaps a small area where they can sit during the day. And we are more than happy to accommodate that. We have the space and the ability for that. And certainly the University of Alberta has processes that allow for that as well. So we would certainly encourage that, indeed.
Great. Thank you. Maybe next question is for Martin. So given that you're more into the digital world and into the virtual reality, and we have all seen the effect of this pandemic, COVID-19, on sort of virtual health and offering that to the public. So we're seeing a lot of digital tools coming. How does ST Innovation fit into this transition? As a lot of medical devices and other things are now becoming smart, but also there's that virtual tool that goes with it. Can you elaborate on that a little bit, Martin?
Yeah, thanks, Reid. I think there's sort of two dimensions to this. One is the development of novel technology, and I think there's emerging enormous opportunity to look at novel ways of delivering healthcare using virtual methods. And so we, among our teams, we have a number of PIs who are working in that area, either directly in the development of systems or in providing technologies to support those systems. And then secondarily is the adoption process. So you're introducing a new way of delivering a clinical service, and that requires expertise and engagement, working with the clinicians who are involved in the process, working the system administrators, as well as working with patients. I think what we've seen during COVID is that there's been a sudden receptiveness to these technologies. Previously, there were some barriers. People were saying, well, it can't be as good as face-to-face. And then we were faced with this dilemma, and we've shown that these technologies can provide good quality care to people who were experiencing serious problems in gaining access, whether they were in rural Alberta or in continuing care facilities or in other situations. So there's a massive growth in this area that I think in ST Innovations and the Smart Network, we have some very special expertise to take forward. Beyond that, there are the opportunities in education and the new ways of delivering distance education. Again, we have a depth of experience in doing that. And I think there are substantial opportunities to create technologies, for example, for simulation. where it's difficult for someone to necessarily go into a lab situation and learn some elements of their area of interest, and we can successfully produce simulations to replace that physical interaction with a virtual interaction. So just a few ideas there, Farid, but it's a growth area, very exciting area to be involved in.
Great. Thank you very much, Martin. Another question that has come is that you mentioned that you are an accelerator. We know that mentors with market and commercial experience, as well as private investors, are critical to the accelerator model. How will ST Innovation engage with mentors and investors on behalf of their clients? Jonathan, Vivian, or Martin?
I can go, Vivian, unless you wanted to go first.
No, you're good, Jonathan. You're most
Yeah,
appropriate.
okay, thank you. I just wanted to, first of all, I wanted to clarify, I just want to make sure that there's no confusion between the terminology of being an accelerator and accelerating health technology. And that might have been a slight confusion of terminology at the beginning of the presentation. So I mentioned that we accelerate the health technology, but we're not per se configured as an accelerator. We have another accelerator entity here in Edmonton that does that very well. Now, this said, we do, though, have a consultant approach to projects when dealing with our clients, with companies. So we always try to consult and find the best solution when we're at the table with our company. We don't necessarily just provide specifically our services and then let the company sort of fend for themselves if something comes up, such as mentor opportunities or an investor. When it comes to investors, at the same time, we wouldn't act necessarily on the company's behalf when it comes to external investors, but we would definitely sit down and work with them to find the best solution or explain the project further and sort of corroborate that need for assistance for the company.
Great. Anything else to add, Vivian? Or
No,
Martin?
and Jonathan nailed it.
Okay. Okay, at this point, I don't see any more questions coming. Again, the contact information, you see it on the screen. If you think of a question, or if you want to reach out and find out more, or you got a project, you could see the email addresses both for Jonathan, Laura, and Michelle. I think we've covered all the questions that has come across, and we are about 3 or 4 minutes to the end of the webinar. Unless I see any other questions. Oh, I do see one that just came in. So Jonathan, I think this is back to you again. What is the Edmonton Accelerator you're referring to?
This is at Tech. It's in the space of Tech Edmonton on Jasper Avenue downtown, close to Edmonton Health City, for example. And it's managed by Dr. Sandra Spencer. And I'm not sure who asked this question, but they can just simply reach out to me by email, and I can quickly do an email introduction.
Yeah, I think you're referring to the U Alberta Accelerator program. That's the incubator space at Tech Edmonton on the 4th floor of the Enterprise Square.
Correct.
So just to distinguish, again, this is not an incubator where the ST Innovation team is around health technology development, more around the development and moving the technology forward piece. And that's why they're not as much involved into the funding from a venture or business planning perspective, more from a product development perspective. Okay, I think that brings us to the end of our webinar. I want to thank everybody for taking the time out of your schedule to join us over this lunch hour to learn about ST Innovations. There'll be more to come, more series, and we may even pick some thematic areas that we will go and showcase what we have. I want to thank all the panelists and the team from ST Innovation to answer all these questions and go over this. This is a great resource and opportunity right here in Edmonton, but available for all Canadians and across the globe if you're interested to develop your technology further. With that, I end the webinar here. Again, if you have questions, you could reach directly out to the members of the ST Innovation team. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you
Thank you
very
Thank you.